That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So sticky and horrible. So yeah, yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's well. Thank you very much for coming over to another Sunday lunchtime live. So welcome to all. I appreciate it's a glorious day. I hope you're all enjoying the nice weather, and I do really appreciate you guys coming over and spending a bit of time with me and Nick and seeing what we can do. So today I'm going to do something a little bit fancy, like it says in the description. Something I've never tried before, and I thought I would have a go at it live, and we'll see if we fail or not. Don't know till you tried here, so let's see what we can do. So what I've got a piece of horse chestnut, and as you can see, it's really wet. So I'm going to see how I can turn this into like a fluted shape, and see what happens. See if we can get it pretty thin, and hopefully as it dries, I'll soak it in some oil, and hopefully as it dries, I'll twist and move a little bit. So that's the theory. So before we get started, Mark the Gentleman Woodturner is 25 subs away from hitting his 1,000 sub goal. So if anybody's not subscribed to Mark, please go over and subscribe to Mark. Let's see if we can get him up to the 1,000 subs before the end of this live. That would be really good. Promote his channel, push it out there, do whatever you guys do, and let's see if we can get him up to the 1,000 subs. To be honest, perfectly honest, I don't think he's that good, but you know, he's a friend. I've got to try my best to get him up to the 1,000 subs. So I'll get this mounted in a lathe. I'm going to be putting it between centres, and I'll pass you over to Nick, and she'll welcome everybody in.
Hi, welcome to Steve's
Can you hear the enthusiasm in it? Whoa!
I was winding you up. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Hope you're enjoying the weather. It's beautiful outside. I'm making the most of getting Guess what? The washing done. Story of my life. Oh, Steve, I want that feather duster.
No, you're not having my feather duster.
I want that. Where'd you get it from? We've seen it.
The
That
house.
might disappear in the house. Yeah. Right. So, welcome to everybody who's in the chat. Like when I get to the end, if I miss anyone, just shout at me because it's Sunday and I'm tired as usual. So, I think Wood Wizardry by Colin was on first, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so welcome to you and Dr. Bob's on. And good afternoon to Peter Cochran and Mark the Gentleman Woodturner, Lawrence, Gerard the French Turner. Oh, that's not me, by the way.
What's that?
That noise.
The compressor's just kicked in.
Yeah, I'm going to have to wait because they might not hear me.
They can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. Also afternoon to Brian at Hartwood Turning. We also... Oh, I knew it would do that. Right, where did I get to, Brian? Eric Winkler. Good afternoon to Stephen Miller. Steve Ellis and Chris Dodds. Terry Bartlett. Also, we have Andy H's for Turning. Good afternoon. Paul Huyton. Colin Izzard. Joe Senior. Good afternoon, Joe. Brent Beecroft. Good afternoon. Also, good afternoon to Steve Fleming. And Michael McEwen. Richard RJK Spinningwood. Barry Fisher. Good afternoon to Woodworm Paul. Oh, I give up. Good afternoon to Steve Hawley. Gav Cedar Woodwork. And if I've missed anyone, I apologise, but as I'm moving the mouse, it's kept jumping down. So if I've missed anyone, just shout. And we'll welcome you to the chat. Right, I'm now going to read what everyone's put.
Ben's just put, hi, Nick.
Oh,
I forgot the
sorry.
other guy's name. Thanks, Ben. Thanks for that, Ben.
Good afternoon, Ben.
Right, so, piece of horse chestnut. I'm going to put a tenon on the end here first. Square this up, put a tenon on the end here so we can hold it in the chuck. And then I want to try and, because I'm going to go quite thin, I'm going to turn part of the inside out first. So it's gives me, so I'm actually working from the outside rather than the inside to take the stress out of it. So, record power parting tool to get this end cleaned up. Nice and green, so I expect to get a little bit wet. I don't know when it was cut, but when I cut it with the saw, it was certainly wet.
Did I say Chris Dodds?
Yes, I think you did.
If not, good afternoon, Chris. It does make it harder to turn if it's wet.
No, it's actually easier to turn.
Is it?
But the disadvantage is, as it dries, if it's thin, it will split and crack. But I'm hoping that I can get some baby oil and that on it, and so that dries out slowly, so it doesn't crack open. But we'll see.
Chris, we don't know what to have for tea. I was going to do roast pork, but I don't know.
So just want to put a little bit of a angle on that.
Eric said, I want to try turning with paint colours and to know what to use, but need to make a catbird box to cover the lathe to keep the room clean.
Yeah, it's like what I use, that box I put over the top of everything.
Yeah, that was an old tower box, wasn't it?
Yeah, old computer tower box, yeah.
Mm.
Perfect for the job. You could make a wooden one, I suppose. It don't really matter, does it? So let's just get this back so we...
Dr. Bob said Detroit is expected to be 94 Fahrenheit today.
Bloody hell, that's hot enough. Right, let's get this clamped up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of this weight before I do that. Just because I
Woodturning
want...
by Barry's on.
Right, Barry. Because I want to... I'll square this up and I'll get rid of some of this weight to make it a little bit more balanced before I take the centre arc, before I take out the tail stock out of it. So let's just square this end up. Let's put it on a camera that you might be able to see. I know you can see one end but not the other. Let's go back where we was. So as you can see, because it's green, get some nice ribbons off of it. And you can feel the moisture coming off of it as you're turning it.
Chris put Nikki Collin is always first, just saying. Steve Hawley's on. Good afternoon.
Hi Steve, how you doing? Thanks for coming over, everybody. Right, so that's squared off that end. Spindle gouge, roughened spindle gouge, just to get rid of some of this bark and get some of the shape I want. Get it around, we can get a bit of speed on it then.
Colin's got a question. He said, "Are you going for the thin wall challenge, Steve?"
I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no reason why I can't.
Good afternoon, Door60.
Hi, Dawn.
Good afternoon, Kim Dickerson.
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
That says Kim.
Yeah, but that's Chris. That's the guy I went and saw yesterday. He comes in on his wife's account.
Oh, right. I did ask you, though, didn't I, if that was a...
Yeah. Chris was very generous and donated some wood to the channel yesterday. Just so we got some stuff to use. So thank you so much for that, Chris. It's very much appreciated. It was nice to meet you as well.
Sorry, Woodturning by Barry. Good afternoon. I think I did say good afternoon eventually, but I'm just going down the chat. Wayne the Woodturner's on. Good afternoon, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne. How you doing, mate?
Wayne, I must say, I absolutely love seeing the sunsets that you put on Facebook. They're just absolutely stunning. So Benjamin said, "Oh, cheese toasty. I'm having a cheese toasty for lunch today. I usually have mayo and tomato sauce, but trying brown sauce today. Not had brown sauce in years." That was one of my cravings, wasn't it, when I was pregnant with Casey?
Brown
Chloe.
sauce. Yeah, brown sauce.
It had to be sausage rolls and brown sauce. But the sausage rolls had to be heated up, didn't they?
Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this out of here and I'm going to start doing the inside because, like I say, I want to try and keep a piece of this bark. And I actually got inspired from this yesterday when I went to Chris's. He's got a piece that he's done very similar, a bit more fancy than what I'm going to do. But that's what encouraged me to have a go at it today.
Right, so good afternoon to Ruby.
Hi, Ruby. Thanks for coming over.
Mark said, "So is your go at the thin rim challenge then, Steve?"
I don't know yet, Mark. We'll see what happens, shall we? I'm not. Don't say. Don't get excited. So let's just. So I'm using spindle gouge just to clean this out. Then we'll start hollowing out. Actually, before I get too carried away.
Dad's on. I missed him. Sorry, Dad.
I'm just going to make this just tight. But the reason being is because obviously it's wet.
Not going to say hello to your dad then.
Hi, Dad. Nice to see you again, Dad. Yeah, as obviously because it's wet grain, when you squash it, you're compressing the fibre, so just best to keep checking your chuck.
Oh, Gerard. He's put, "Steve, from now on you will be able to say whatever you want about the French, as you will see less and less of me on All Live going back to work tomorrow, and I don't feel like it." He don't live in France, though, does he? Does he? Do you live in France, Gerard? Amy's on. Hello, Amy. Hope you're well.
Can you see that? Is that picture good or not?
Steve, I'm still going through the chat, mate. I haven't got to the bottom yet.
Alright.
No.
I thought you was a woman. I thought you could
It's a
multitask.
bit blurry.
Blurry?
That end one.
Well, all because they're spinning around.
Yeah, just don't look right.
Oh, I can't help that.
Well, stop spinning it then. Now you made me lose where I was. Oh, someone said something of this.
So I'm just gradually scraping this out with the spindle gouge.
Steve Ella said check your tenon is tight.
Yeah, it is, mate. I just looked at it.
Gerard
The wood is not perfectly round, so that's why it looks a bit shaky.
He's back in the kitchen. But he did have a swear word, I ain't saying that.
Who did?
Gerard.
You don't even want to go back in?
He put back in the kitchen.
Alright.
Benjamin put quick, get all the French insults in now then. Good afternoon, Doug Miller at Wood Spun Around. Oh no, Gerard's in Ireland. So do you work in a hotel or a restaurant, Gerard?
Restaurant.
I'm being nosy. Oh, I think.
What?
Gerard's just put, but just for you, Chef Nicky, if you need anything, just PM me. Pete from Twisted Tweez.
Hi, Pete.
Twisted Trees is on. Hey, Nicky, do you have to have Steve on your show every week? Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Pete, I thought we was friends.
He drags me out here every Sunday. I've got so much better things to be doing. Drags me, he threatens me, I tell you.
Yeah, right.
He won't even buy me a mop. I have to clean the floor on my hands and knees.
Yeah, that's where you belong. I need to move this out just so I can get out a little bit.
Amy's put, my children are in the middle of a big witching hour. What's that mean, Amy? Send wine, scotch, Baileys, anything. I think I've said hello to him, but I might have missed Peter Cochrane out. So if I have, I apologise, Peter.
What, you mean the guy who was second in?
I don't know, but that's just, I'm just saying, I'd rather say it again because.
Right, I've got to move that further around because the tail stock's right in the way. So I'm going to have to move this camera around so you can see. There you go. Let's try again.
Eric put, Nikki, you must be close to 1,000 subscribers. Lol. Amy's put where they just go loopy and hyperactive for no reason, lol.
Alright.
You've been giving them too much sugar, Amy.
Yeah.
Let them burn themselves out. Put them in the garden.
Yeah, time to get outside. Ooh.
Cool, listen to this, right? So Gerard works in the biggest pub and restaurant in Cork. He put, before COVID, we were doing about 1,000 people carvery from 12 till 6. Everything cooked to order, about 2 legs of lamb, 10, 8 kilogram roast beef, 200 kilograms of pops, just mash.
That sounds like hard work, doesn't it?
Pete put, good news, Amy. They eventually grow up and have kids of their own, which you can feed sugar to and run away getting your revenge.
Yeah.
Joe wants to know what you're making. Other than a mess?
I don't know what you call it, to be honest. What are you laughing at?
Ben, he's
What?
put. He's hilarious. Steve, I was doing some research today. Did you know that the first reversible motor-driven lathe was available in 1972? See, you was born, babe.
Yeah, it was. All good things were done in 72.
Mm.
Alright, so I just need to clean up a little bit. So what I'm going to use the...
Right, Peter Cochran said he's just put his first video up on YouTube today.
oh, well done, Peter.
Not, I think it says, must say editing, is it? Only 1.5 minutes.
It's alright. Got to start somewhere. So I'm using the Simon Hope... Go on.
Amy said it's 10:20 p.m. there
Alright.
and about 10 degrees. Oh, so it's bedtime then.
So I'm using the Simon Hope hollower just to try and clean this out a little bit further. But obviously not to... Bit aggressive this, so you don't want to be pushing too hard on it. But being wet, it should trim it out nice. I don't want to go too deep. I think we're nearly where I want to be. That sounds very wet. So have a look at that. See what that looks like. Obviously, if you've got a lathe and you're doing a piece of wet wood and you've got mild steel bed bars, then you really should wax them or oil them before you start wet wood, because if not, it could cause them to go rusty. So I think we're there for that. So I'm just going to quickly sand that. I don't know how well that'll sand, but we'll see. So I'm going to go 120 because that's quite a good finish in there. Actually, no, I'm not going to go 100 because it's a bit wet. Don't think that'll sand very well because being wet, but we'll see.
Eric put question, go thinner, Steve.
I'm going to go thinner on the outside, Eric. That's why I'm doing the middle first.
Oh, exciting, Peter was meant to put.
Oh, right.
Not editing.
So if it
Gerard
does...
said, I'm the head chef there since the opening 30 years ago, but since my stroke due to the stress from Christmas 2019, they kind of try and push me out. Just hold on to... Must hold on only 1.5 years to do.
Right, so I'm not going to go... I'm going to sand it too much because it's absolutely saturated. So, right, bring this back. Double check my tightness. Now we can start shaping the outside. Going to try and keep some of this bark on the outside. So we'll see what happens when I start turning that. So I think I'm going to go with the 3/8 bowl gouge to start with, just to get some of this material off and get my rough shape, but we don't want to go too thin because I don't want to lose that. So this one, and we'll see how thin we can get it. So it's going to be little stages.
David J. Heath is on. Good afternoon.
Is that a new name?
Yeah, I've not heard of him before.
Oh, welcome, David. Thank you very much for coming over. So that goes down to around about there. So I'm going to put a pencil mark there. Just turn some of that out till we get it equal, and then we can just gently pass it off to if I can get the wall equal, then when we start taking our thinner cuts, we can get more of a rough idea what we're going to. Just a little bit thick at that bottom. So I know a spindle work, but I'm using a bowl gouge on this, so it doesn't really matter. But
Peter
obviously,
Cochran put, Steve put a light inside, only 0.5 millimetres to beat lol.
yeah.
David Nicol, not heard of him before. Hello everyone, just getting in.
Hi David, welcome. It won't be a thin rim because the rim's not perfectly round, so it won't be a thin rim. But we'll see what we can get on the rest of it.
Chris Dodds put, Steve, I know a guy who makes depth gouges for his friends.
That's fine. Got about equal now. So we'll just gradually bring that.
Tim or Chris, whichever one it is, said turn the lights off and shine a light in the end.
If I turn the light off, I won't be able to see what I'm doing. I'm not thin enough to get a light in there yet, I think. But we will do. So I'm just going to bring this in. It's getting thin now. Still quite a bit to go. Let's see what happens if we round this off. Lose a bit of the bark.
Robert Dolman's on. Good afternoon, Robert.
Hi Robert, how you doing? Actually, I don't look too bad. Oh, I might be able to get a thin rim out of that. Right, just got a little bit, it's just a little bit thicker there. So I'm just going to lose a little bit of this off of here. Right, so got a bit of bark broke off here, so I think we're going to have to take it all off now. Let's see what we can do.
Christoph said that could be a new show, Turning by Candlelight.
Oh, it's getting thin. That's the trouble, look. Just got to clean that edge off. Because of the bark. I should have turned the bark off to start with, I think, but... Oops. Right. Got something good to go out now. Cool, it's saturated inside there. Green and wet.
Baz is on.
Hi, Baz, how you doing, mate? Right, so come on in, let's have a go at this thin rimmed, whatever you want to call it. Let's see what we can do. So what's the record?
Eric said he wants to see an end camera, see how thin it is.
Oh, right, sorry. End camera.
Pete said, nice cut, Steve. Asked Nikki to show you the carrot peeling cut. You hear that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can you do me a favour, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Could you go in the house and get my digital Divernier?
Is it on the desk? No, it's
No,
here.
no, that ain't digital. No, that not that one. It's in the bottom drawer, but underneath the 3D printer.
Okay.
Please, if you don't mind.
Oh, got the headset. I'll leave that here.
So, let's get a little bit off of that side. That side's a little bit thick there. Right, so let's get a light in there. See how thin it is. Get up there. Don't want to sit. Overhead. Just getting thin. See if we can get that on now. That's better. The light don't want to stay where I want it. So there you can see it. It's getting a bit thin. Damn light. That's better. So it's thin on the edge. Yeah, that's thank you. So we just check the edge and see what the edge is. Seems there's a thin edge challenge. Right, let's put the light back on.
Oh, what's happened to my camera?
Nothing, I turned the light off.
Oh.
So, we'll turn the vernier on. You can see that look 0, make sure it's calibrated.
Eric said, looks good.
So at the moment we have 2.5 or 2.9 millimeters. That's down, but actually on the edge is 1.6. So let's get it a bit thinner.
Get your head from under the camera. Yeah, Robert, he is boring. Do you know what, Joe? Richard, he can sleep on the sofa because he just snores so much. So how thick was it?
Hey,
How thin, thick was it?
2.6.
Ooh, you got a way to go yet.
It's that thin. I've got a little bit of chatter there. Being green wood, I don't help it. Right, so nice and gentle. No, that's just splitting as soon as I touch it. I think it might be too green.
You got a mask. Steve said you need to make sure you got a mask on.
Mask?
Because that's chipping, you said.
I don't think I'll go any thinner than that.
Ben's put you have to shear cut, Steve.
Yeah, I'm trying that, but that's because that's so wet. That's just, look, you can see that's just flexing as soon as I touch it. 1.2. I think that's about the thinnest I'm going to get it because it's just flexing as soon as I touch it. I'm not going to risk going any further because it's going to blow up. So that's close enough for me. When I scrape it, that's just water coming out of there. It's not actually sawed or wood.
Pete said faster, Steve.
Huh?
Pete said faster, Steve.
Faster.
Brent said, Steve, use a cone centre in the cup end to steady it. Ruby said, wet it down, Steve.
It's actually ringing wet, Ruby. Look, you can see the water coming out as soon as I touch it. No, I'm not going to finish that.
Pete said, abrasive inside and out at the same time will get a bit more off.
Oh, am I allowed to sand that, am I? Didn't tell me that.
Thanks, Ben. Asked Nikki to support with her finger. Yeah, right.
I look really bright, don't I? I look really whitewashed. Because that...
Chris said, Pete said, the lighter the colour, the thinner it is. Eric said, "Don't do one more cut and blow it up."
No, I'm not doing any more on it. That's as thin as I'm going. Actually, I use bowl gouge for that, I suppose. That's a better colour. If I had the right colour light on, would be alright. So just get rid of some of this and then I'll sand it. So what I'll do is I'll just turn it down and sand it. If I sand it for a week, we should get down to about 1/2 mil.
Andy H is for 10 said it's a wise man who knows when to stop.
Yeah.
Richard RJK Spinnerman said you wouldn't beat your friend anyway, would you, Steve? Lol.
No, I don't want to show him up.
Steve Ellis said captive ring, Steve.
No. Definitely not.
You said I was breathing heavy earlier, listen at you.
I'm getting excited.
Robert Dolman said I was waiting for the skew.
Yeah. You're on the wrong channel then, at the moment. I've been practicing, but I'm still not confident with it. It'll come.
David Nichols said put it in the microwave to remove moisture and it will go even thinner.
It's actually nearly dry now with the heat, I think, with turning it. Because it's so thin. Let's see what the final is we've got. Got a little bit of a chip out of there, but so final thickness. That's right on the tip is just under 1 mil. Right on the tip. So that's as thin as I'm prepared to go. So let's give this some shape now. Might put a bit of a thin stem on it. So let's get this. So don't forget, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Mark's channel, do you want to chuck the link in for Mark's channel again, Nick?
I didn't do it in the first place.
Or whoever put it in.
I think Mark done it himself.
You can put it in there, can't you?
He'll end up doing it himself. He can beat me to it. How do you do it for his channel?
Go to his channel.
Yeah.
The taskbar at the top with that you would type normally in there.
Oh yeah. Just copy that. Yeah.
Exactly the same as you would normally, yeah.
Beat him. I'm not sure this is right, but no, that ain't right. Oh yes, it is. No, it can't be. Yeah, it is. It's fine. Yeah, let's get Mark up to. I can't see on here. Oh, he's got still got 975.
See. So let's make our base before we get carried away. So just curve this a little bit. Some nice strands coming off of it.
Law said barley twist stem, Steve. What do you mean
Barley.
barley?
So I've never done a really thin stemmed whatever, so let's have a go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Amy said looks like an old school car horn hooter. Take a look at Mark Gentleman Woodturner's channel, see if you can subscribe to it if you haven't already. He needs 24 to get to 1,000.
A little bit of vibration on there. So wet, it's unreal.
You just said it was drying out, make your mind up.
Well, I was drying out where I thinned it, but on the centre here, that's wet. Oops.
Chris Dodd said martini glass.
Shaken, not stirred. A bit quiet today, I'm thinking, contemplating.
You?
Yeah. Don't happen
Well,
often.
you ain't got nothing interesting to say anyway, really.
Oh, they've all come to see you anyway, so I don't know what matters.
I've got to go in a minute. I'll probably put some washing in it. Make the most of the nice weather.
So, just trying to support the stem while I'm turning this down.
I didn't look.
Me neither, I've got my eyes closed.
Every time I can hear it turn, and that just make my teeth go as well.
Go where?
So it's not helping.
Told you to put Dentifix on them.
This waiting for a bang or
Right.
Benjamin went, it looks like a funnel. Andy H said you may want to support that with the tailstock, Steve. A tennis ball works well.
Yeah, it does, but I ain't got one, mate.
What?
Tennis ball.
I think there's one. Do you want me to go get one?
Have we got one, have we?
I think there's one in the garden box.
Oh, that'd be good if we got one.
All right, I'll go and have a look. Just give me a sec.
Take a break. Let's have a Kit Kat. So, as you can see, got a little bit of chatter on it because it's moving about. But it's a bit delicate. I don't want to go too much thinner. I just want to clean this up a little bit. Put it on the camera that you can see. It'd be good, wouldn't it? So we've got a little bit of chatter in there. So we'll get something in the end just to support it. And then we'll just clean this up and I think we'll be there. Just shape this a little bit. It's fairly equal all the way through. Like I say, 0.97 at the top. But that's as thin as I dare go. I'm not going to go mad and try and be a hero. Move my light now. We just put the light. Actually, let's just put the light in and see what it looks like. See if it's how transparent it is. Let's turn the light off. So there you can see it's a bit thicker here, but that is fairly equal. You're a star, thank you. 15 love.
You ask and you shall receive.
So,
Right.
that one I reckon.
Richard said, you read that chat, I take it from there.
Which one?
It said, support the cup. Maybe negative pressure.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some tape.
Robert put, yes, Nikki, we only come for the carrot chopping, haha.
So, take that to that.
Benjamin said, yeah, I think it works better when you stretch
Yeah,
it with the tailstock rather than clamp it with the tailstock.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clamp that onto there.
Andy H said, ideally take the tennis ball to the tailstock and the cup and then apply negative pressure.
I'm going to just put a little tiny bit of, just draw it back a little tiny bit.
Rex B's on. Hello, Rex. He said, will you make a drink for Nikki in this? Richard said, skoo.
No.
Woodturning by Barry's got to go and dish his dinner up. Enjoy, Barry.
All right, Barry, thank you very much for coming over.
Colin said you could sand it thinner. Eric said too much pressure will snap the stem.
Yeah, I'm not going to do, I just want to draw it back a little tiny bit. I'm just going to put a bit of tape on here, just so I can pull it back rather than pushing
if
it.
you ruin the ball, it don't matter because there's more in there.
Just going to put a little bit of pressure on this, just so I'm drawing it back. Just so it's stretching it rather than pushing it. But how that'll work, I don't know. Alright, really gentle is the word. Start off slow. Really light passes. I'm actually putting hardly any pressure at all on this. Alright, as far as I'm going. So just get rid of some of this. Oops, not like that one. Go the other way, Steve.
Peter Cochran said this could be the next challenge. How thin a stem on a goblet.
Oh, slow down.
Andy H said that's the way to do it.
That's better. Right, so let's get rid of some of this muss around here. Oh, just snapped it.
No!
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Speed it up just a little bit too much. Speed it up just a little bit too much. Knocked it off of balance. Oh well, it was worth a try.
Ooh, I just seen it. Whoopsie.
Could glue it back together, I suppose, but
No, it's not worth it.
oh well.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
Don't cry, baby.
I do.
Something else to throw.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you enjoy our live today.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed. That's it. I ain't doing no more. I'm going to go in the corner and cry now. Nah. It was getting thin, and to be honest, where it broke, there was a little tiny grain mark in there.
Oh, always an excuse.
No
Excuse.
If you look, if you can see there,
Yeah,
where's the camera?
yeah.
Look, you can see there's a bit of pith or something running through there.
Excuses.
So it was only
Always
being
an
held on.
excuse.
So yeah, but we got down to, what did we get down to in the end? Let's have a look.
Well, nothing, because you brooked it.
We actually got down to
So on the chat,
0.94.
Chris Dodds put, there is a 4-letter word that comes to mind. Stop.
Damn.
Steve Ellis put, oops. Colin said, no. Gav said, oh dear. Robert Dolman, bad luck, Steve. Richard, oh no. Peter Cochran, better than a funnel. Colin said, hashtag StarBond it.
But if you look, there's a bit of pith come right through there, and that's where it snapped.
Benjamin said, right on time as well. Amy said, doesn't matter, it's all practice.
Yeah,
Steve, drill the centre out for a proper funnel. David Heath, never mind. Richard said, do you have any StarBond?
Oh yeah, I've got loads of StarBond.
Terry Bartlett said, turn it into a funnel. Gerard said, here is your funnel now. Pith. Richard said, pith. Drill a hole down through the stem, you get a proper funnel, lol. Brian said, yeah, like me. Okay, Steve, was a great try, said Eric. Doug said, branch inclusion.
Yeah, it could be actually, yeah, because it's there, look, part there.
Gav said, Christian, when's Nikki going to have a go? Never. Chris Todd said, super glue. Richard said, turn it into a funnel. And Chris said, you don't want the pith. I did have a go once, Amy. Not really my. I think I'm a bit too frightened. I'm a bit of
Frightened,
a
frightened,
wuss.
frightened, frightened. So anyway, that was a bit of fun.
Chris went, "No, you're taking the piss."
Good thing with things like that is even though it's failed, it's a bit of tool control practice. And that's the good thing about it.
You was just getting a little bit too excited, weren't you?
Well, no, like I say, you can see there's, like somebody said, it's either a branch inclusion going through there or that's a piece of pith. And there's only perhaps a couple of mil either side, and obviously spinning it with that ball in the end is knocked off the balance.
Ben said, "Steve, out of interest, was your tailstock centred?"
Yes, it is centered. Yep, it is centered. So I don't know. Anyway, it's a bit of practicing. I'm not going to cry over it. It's only a bit.
Here you are. He will if he sat in the corner crying later.
I'm going to sit. No, I'm not going to worry about it. It's only a bit of practice.
You will. You are such a lala. You will. No. At least it didn't hit you, mate. Well, knocked some sense into you, but
weren't going quick enough to hit me. I've just got to clean all my tools now because they're all wet. So I'll clean all those so you don't go rusty. So like I say, guys, have a go. Knock yourself out. Well, not knock yourself out as such, but have a go. Doesn't matter what it is. Really needs to be green if you're going to have a go at the thin wall challenge or thin rim challenge. The reason being is obviously it gives you a little bit. It turns a little better. You get some nice. It cuts better. So being green helps. But we tried. We failed. But we will have another go. Maybe not this week or the next week, but we will have another go. I did a little platter once, and that was 1.2 millimeters thick, which was quite nice. But thing is, there's no real need for a platter that thin. It's just pushing your talents a little bit further.
Right. But Gerard said, "Steve, perfection is an illusion. Good try."
Thank you, Gerard.
David Heath said, "Turn it into a handbell."
Handbell, yeah. It's not. Yeah, it could do actually.
Chris Dodd said, "Damn, nature is a bitch."
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I've never turned anything that sort of shape, that thin. It's always been flat.
It's because you started the lathe at high speed, weren't it?
Well, what it was is I tried to turn it up quick. Rather than slowly itching it up, I turned it up quick, and that just rung it, and that knocked it out of balance, and that's what split it. So it's my own fault. I think if I hadn't have been so impatient to turn up, that'd have been okay. But
Doug Miller said he's got a goblet on the shelf that he turned to 1 millimeter stem.
Nice, very nice. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, please go over and sub to Mark if you're not sub to Mark. Share out his channel. Oh, hi, Martin. How you doing? Copperal Woodturning. How you doing? I think that's Martin. Anyway, so please go over and share Mark's channel. Let's see if we can get him up to 1,000 subs. He really does deserve it. He's a good turner. I know we have a bit of banter, but messing about all aside, he is a good turner. He does deserve it.
Everyone on here must be subscribed to him because he's.
But let's try and get him there. And
put the link in as well, so
you
can find him.
Then that'll stop him bitching at me about it as well. So. Right, and guys, so thank you very much for coming over. Thank you so much all for coming over on Friday night as well. And watching Ed. That was a really good live. I really did enjoy that. I know a few people thought that it became the Ed show, but that's the actual point of having a special guest airworm on, is to be, I want to bring the airworm in to actually talk about themselves, what they've got going on, what projects they've done, and some of the stuff that Ed was showing us just shows you what you can do with a little bit of experience and a little bit of time. Some of the projects he showed us on Friday night were absolutely amazing, and I hope one day that I can turn something not as good, but getting close to it. So it gives us all somewhere to go. So anyway, guys, we have the Battle of the Makers are going to be on the 25th of this month. I'll put a link up for that in the next few days, so you know what's coming on. So other than that, if I don't see you before, I will see you in Mark's live tomorrow night. Terry from TJ Turn is live tomorrow at dinner time at 1 o'clock. He's covering for Wayne. So Ben, Colwyn Way is on next month. He's on in July. So we've got Colwyn Way coming on, mate. So yes, you've got Terry TJ Turn at 1 o'clock tomorrow dinner time. We have Mark on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So if I don't see you there, I will see you later on in the week. If not, I'll see you next Friday night. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming over. Have a great weekend. And take care. Speak to you soon. And bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks.